They sold us a dream: work hard, follow the rules, and the American dream, complete with a house, a steady job, a white picket fence, and a wagging golden retriever, would be ours. But the spotlight's fading, and the stage is cracking. I'm here to pull back the curtain on this grand illusion, to show you how the promise of freedom has morphed into a subtle, insidious form of modern slavery. A staggering 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, according to Lending Tree, and 46% are trapped in that grind with no escape. This isn't a dream, it's a treadmill, and we're running ourselves ragged. Today, we'll unravel this deception through the sharp lenses of Friedrich Nietzsche and Niccolò Machiavelli, exposing how systems of morality and power keep us chained. Buckle up, we're diving deep into the cage we've been taught to call freedom, and by the end, you'll see a way to break free. Let's begin. Picture this: a bright-eyed kid, told that hard work and grit will unlock a life of prosperity, 2 cars in the garage, a backyard barbecue, and the security to breathe easy. That's the American dream we've all been fed, a shiny carrot dangled across generations. But let's rip off the blindfold. The reality? Millions are sprinting on a hamster wheel, not toward freedom, but to barely survive. The numbers are brutal: nearly 2/3 of Americans can't save, can't plan, can't pause, one flat tire or doctor's bill from disaster. I've watched friends juggle 2 jobs, skip meals to pay rent, and still feel like failures because the dream says they're not trying hard enough. This isn't a glitch, it's the blueprint. The system thrives on our exhaustion, chaining us with debt, $100,000 per household, says Experian, and student loans topping $1.7 trillion. My take? We've been duped into believing survival equals success. Freedom's not choosing between rent and insulin, it's not drowning in loans you'll die still owing. Nietzsche would call this a lie we've swallowed, and I agree, the dream's a dazzling mask for control. We're taught to blame ourselves, too lazy, too undisciplined, when the truth is, the game's rigged. Corporations profit, bills pile up, and we're left sprinting, never arriving. I've felt that weight, that quiet panic of keeping the lights on, and I bet you have too. The American dream promises self-determination, but what's self-determined about obedience to a machine that feeds on your fatigue? It's time to question the script. Why does the richest nation bankrupt people for getting sick? Why does freedom feel like a 40-hour trap? Machiavelli would marvel at this: power disguised as opportunity, keeping us compliant with a mirage. My insight is simple: freedom isn't debt, hustle, or shame. It's not a picket fence you can't afford. We've been sold a fantasy that benefits the few, not the many, and it's breaking us. The cage is invisible, but it's real, and until we see it, we're not free. Let's dig deeper into how this conditioning takes root, how it twists our minds to keep us running. Friedrich Nietzsche, a 19th-century philosopher with a razor-sharp mind, saw through society's tricks. He warned of slave morality, not physical shackles, but a mental prison we build ourselves. Imagine this: the powerless, over centuries, start praising humility, patience, and suffering. Why? Because power's out of reach, so they call submission a virtue. I've seen this in my own life. Growing up, I was told to work hard, stay quiet, and good things come. But good for who? Nietzsche's genius is exposing how we're conditioned to see struggle as noble, to grind endlessly and call it character. Look around, hustle culture's everywhere. We post packed schedules, boast about 5 a.m. wake-ups, and wear burnout like a medal. I've done it, pushed through exhaustion, thinking it proved my worth. But it's a lie. We're not just working for survival, we're worshipping it. Nietzsche would say we've been trained to police ourselves, to see rest as weakness, ambition as risky. I remember a coworker shamed for taking a mental health day, called lazy, unreliable. That's the trap: we shame each other to keep the wheels turning. Who profits? Not us. Employers pocket unpaid overtime, corporations tally our output while we crumble. My perspective is this: we've turned suffering into a sacrament, but it's not sacred, it's servitude. Nietzsche's insight cuts deep: society shapes good and evil to keep us docile. We're told to endure, not to question, and I've felt that pressure, that guilt for wanting a break. But here's the twist: this isn't about you failing. It's about a system thriving on your strain. I see it daily: friends anxious, overworked, yet afraid to slow down. Why? Because we're taught pausing means losing. Nietzsche would roar, "This isn't virtue, it's control." The powerful benefit when we're too tired to challenge them. I've wrestled with this: nights spent scrolling job boards, feeling inadequate, believing I'm the problem. But what if we're not? What if exhaustion isn't a badge, but a warning? Nietzsche dares us to reject this inherited script, to forge our own values: courage, authenticity, not compliance. I think he's right: real strength is seeing the cage, not decorating it. We're not just cogs, we're human, and it's time to redefine worth beyond output. How did this mindset take hold? Let's turn to Machiavelli, who shows us how power pulls the strings behind the scenes. Niccolò Machiavelli, the 16th century master of strategy, didn't sugarcoat reality. In The Prince, he laid bare a truth: power doesn't need force if it masters illusion. Rulers, he said, don't have to be good, just look good. I find this chillingly relevant. We're told we're free to chase success, pick our paths, be anything. But peek behind the curtain, and it's a setup. Freedom's a shiny banner, but beneath it, we're tangled in debt, deadlines, and dread. The stats hit hard: over $1.7 trillion in student loans, per Experian, dictating jobs, delaying families, crushing mental health. Over 60% of bankruptcies tie to medical bills, in the wealthiest nation. I've felt this sting: my cousin skipped chemo because copays broke her. What's free about that? Machiavelli would nod, impressed: control us not with whips, but with perception. We sign the loans, click, agree, and think we chose this. I did, took a loan for college, believing it was my ticket. It wasn't, it was a leash. The system dangles choice: new phones, streaming plans, side hustles, but never enough to break free. I've bought into it, upgrading gadgets to feel ahead, only to sink deeper. Machiavelli's insight is brutal: power wins when we think we're players, not pawns. I see it: 40-hour weeks barely cover rent, yet we're told it's progress. My take? It's a stage, and we're the actors, too busy to spot the script. Corporations keep us consuming, social media fuels insecurity, and we run faster, thinking it's liberty. I've scrolled Instagram, envied perfect lives, and spent to feel enough. But it's a loop: work, buy, repeat. Machiavelli knew: keep people hopeful, distracted, and they won't rebel. I've lived this, chasing milestones, never questioning why the finish line moves. The genius is, we blame ourselves: too slow, too weak. But I say no, this isn't failure, it's design. Power hides in plain sight, dressing dependency as independence. We're not free if survival hinges on obedience. Machiavelli's lesson: see the game, understand the illusion. Only then can we stop financing our own chains and start rewriting the rules. Welcome to the new slavery: not iron chains, but a relentless grind of deadlines, debt, and dopamine hits. Your worth, measured by output. Your value, how much you endure. I've felt this: 12-hour days, no breaks, a quiet panic to keep up. Reports of Amazon workers peeing in bottles to meet quotas aren't fiction, they're reality. I've talked to friends in offices, restaurants, even hospitals, all crushed by the same demand: produce, perform, be grateful. We glorify it, brag about no sleep, idolize the hustle. I've done it, posted my grind online, thinking it's strength. It's not, it's surrender. The system drains us, then sells relief. After work, we scroll, shop, chase curated lives, new kitchens, trendy clothes, courses to fix us. I've bought into this, grabbing gadgets to feel progress, but the high fades. Social media's a trap, and I've fallen in, comparing, spending, never enough. My take. This is engineered: exhaust us, then profit from our insecurity. We work for things we don't need, to impress people we don't know, calling it freedom. I've been there, maxing cards for status, only to feel emptier. The brilliance? We blame ourselves, lazy, undisciplined. I've beat myself up, pushed harder, never asking who wins. My insight: it's not you, it's a machine that thrives on your fatigue. It gives just enough. Paychecks, likes, to keep you running, not resting, not thinking. I see it in my life, my family's, always on, always behind. This isn't liberty, it's a maze, and we're the rats. The cage isn't locked, but we stay, chasing a dream that's a dead end. Something's got to give: your body, your mind, or your belief in this lie. I'm betting on the last. Let's explore how to break free, to reclaim what's ours. The exit starts here, with a spark of clarity. Nietzsche returns, offering not just a critique but a lifeline: the Übermensch, the Overman. Not a bully or a billionaire, but someone who rejects society's script and crafts their own meaning. I love this: imagine waking up, not to a boss's clock, but to your own purpose. Nietzsche's call is bold: ditch the slave morality that glorifies suffering. I've felt that weight, guilt for resting, fear of falling behind. But he says no, your worth isn't your output, your joy isn't your stuff. I'm inspired: ask, what do I want, not what I'm told to want. For me, it's time to think, to laugh, to live. That's freedom. Machiavelli steps in, practical and shrewd. He says power's a game, learn it, or be played. I've been played, running for raises, buying into success. His wisdom: see the illusion, debt, hustle, metrics, and say no. I'm trying this: no to status games, no to sacrificing health for profit. My plan starts with financial autonomy. Not riches, but stability, living below my means, cutting debt. I've slashed subscriptions, skipped trends, and felt lighter. Freedom's not owning more, it's needing less. Then, minimalism, not a fad, but clarity. I've decluttered clothes, apps, noise, and found space for peace. It's liberating, focusing on what matters: art, walks, loved ones. My big insight: meaning's not in ads or titles, it's yours to shape. I'm carving mine, writing, connecting, resting without shame. In a world that profits from confusion, clarity's defiance. Resting's radical. Living your values, maybe kindness, creativity, is resistance. I believe this: you don't need to torch the system, but you must wake up. The door's there, unlocked, waiting. You just have to see it. We started with a promise: the American dream, a glittering path to freedom. But it's a performance, a script of school, job, house, debt, repeat. I've lived it, chased grades, paychecks, approval, only to feel trapped. Most aren't free if freedom's control, over time, choices, mind. I've lain awake, dreading Monday, guilty for wanting rest. That's not liberty, it's a stage, and we're the cast. Nietzsche shouts: reject borrowed values. Stop calling suffering virtue. I'm done, done measuring life by metrics, not joy. Machiavelli nods, see the game, rewrite the rules. I'm learning, questioning why work doesn't pay, why health's a bill. My truth? Freedom's not a paycheck or a post. It's presence, waking up, owning your day. For me, it's quiet mornings, real talks, no rush. You get to ask, am I living my life or theirs? I've asked, and it's shifted everything, saying no to the grind, yes to my pace. It's hard, friends call it risky, ads tempt me back. But I'm building my dream, piece by piece, time for passion, space for peace. True freedom's subtle, no fanfare, just you, present, unburdened. The American dream's a mirage, but yours isn't. Mine's growing, walks at dawn, stories I write, moments I choose. Your dream's buried under obligations, but it's alive. See the cage, step out, and claim it. This day is yours.